And we're back with some more Factorio. And, as they say in Monty Python, just get on with it. We need to get off this planet, so I've been trying to speed run getting through the last of the sciences so we can do one main thing. Research uranium ammo so that we can clear out enough space to get more iron and copper to just like max out this bus and be done with it. Now, in the background, this is yellow science. I haven't actually hooked it all up yet, but this one's a pain in the butt. Okay, blue chips. Easy peasy, we've got those on the bus. We can make more of them and expand out the production. That's okay. Low density structure, not that bad. It's actually pretty easy. You just put copper, steel plate, and plastic. All of those which we're making. Where is it? There's plastic over there on the far left. So all of that stuff is being made already. So easy peasy to get that out. But then comes the flying robot frames. They're painful. See this entire section here? Pretty much this entire section here is dedicated to it. Because you require steel, no problems. Green circuits, no problem. But you also require batteries and electric engines. Batteries, straightforward, bunch of copper and iron plate and sulfuric acid, all the stuff we had lying around the place. You know, everyone keeps a bit of sulfuric acid just lying around the place. I keep some under my bed just in case. You know, you never know when you want to make up a battery. We don't use lithium ion here. That's, lithium ion's just too new school. We like the old school stuff around here. Problem is, you got to make electric engines. Electric engines take basic engines. Basic engines are, well, iron plate with extra steps. It's, you know, steel, iron gears, and pipes. Basically 100% iron ore funded. This, however, will require us to pump in the lubricant, which I'm pretty sure is miles away. Hold on while I run a pipe for that. But once that's done, I think all the rest of it is hooked up. Wait, no. Actually, yeah, pretty sure most of this will, just a few more bits and bobs and it'll be good to go. Now, of course, we've only got one science. We'll still have to hook up all the others. But at that point, we're so close to our starter base that our intermediate base, well, we'll just rip these bits out and put them over here instead. One other tip I was given is these little display panels. You can build these manually yourself. It really cost iron and copper. And effectively, it's like you were using in the old storage trunks for. You can basically put icons on them going, oh, this is going to be for solid fuel or plastic. Let's say plastic. And done. You now have something to indicate plastic. Doesn't require any power. Seems to be fairly good to go. And that's how we know that this is going to be lubricant now. So that's actually a nice little quality of life thing. You can get rid of these. Well, I was putting down chests, which is the old school method of denoting where stuff is going to go. But this one will allow you to do liquids as well. Oh, the piping. Piping just continues to get more horrifying. So that's where the lubricant is going. We're actually running it down the side of our very horrific fulfillment center. Yes, there is better fulfillment centers out there. I have been advised in the comments. There's a few I probably should have looked into. But in my defense, I just looked through the first 5 or 6 pages and I couldn't find anything barring this old one. So I'm like, I can modify it. It'll be fine. And I mean, it's kind of working. It does its job. Though it did eat all of our iron ore. Oh, no, it's still eating all of our iron ore. Yeah, we're going to need more of that shortly. All right, this is the lubricant. It goes all the way along, back to over here to produce our motors. Exit. We're stockpiling a small bunch of them for later. Oh, actually, no, that should just be one stack. We might need a few of those for crafting some more armors and things later on. So after carefully and painfully plugging this all into the bus, we should now have our first batch of yellow science start to get produced. Of course, we can't do anything with it. Yeah, we don't have enough resources. Well, we don't have the rest of the sciences over here. We'd have to ship that over to those labs down the bottom. It's not worth it. Instead, we're going to compress down the red and green. As in this red and green science here, we're going to stick that onto our bus. We're also going to stick on the black, and that will give us most of the basic sciences so that we can start cranking out, uranium ammo, portable fission reactors, and power armor Mark II. With those 3 knocked out, it should make going through the biters an awful lot simpler. That right there is a very, very weak-looking copper stream. Like, it's only these 2 on the right we really care about. The other 2 are more for cosmetic purposes. We don't use those. We are just not producing enough copper. Do you have... Nope, we don't have enough copper ore coming in. And we're going to have to increase the number of copper smelters. Damn it! 1 second. I got to go run a copper line from over here all the way across. Should be... Actually, wait. That's copper. What's that? Oh, you're stone. Okay, yeah, we can run a quick copper line from there. Double up our copper production. Not going to make these biters happy, but who cares about biters' happiness? Hi-ho. Hi-ho. It's off to work we go. We work all day for iron plate. Hi-ho. 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 So, we do get the joy of killing lots and lots of trees, which is always a bonus in this gig. Oh, Right. Yeah, I forgot I made this messy junction. There. Now, all the stuff going right goes to our starter base, and all the stuff going left goes to our intermediate base. This way, we should hopefully have enough to keep everything ticking over until we decommission the original. There we go. Got some proper copper going on. Well, some reasonably proper. That'll keep us going for at least a little while longer. At least until we knock out the relevant tech, and we can expand out a bit. Iron is absolutely horrendous, but we have no more iron patches we can tap into just yet, which is why we're trying to maybe slow down on some of the other non-essentials. For example, I have some chests over here making solar panels. There's 750 solar panels in there, and there is 650 capacitors, or accumulators. Sorry, my bad. So, with those, we could make another one of these solar panels, or solar builds, but yeah, I'm kind of holding off for a bit, because the moment I take those out, it's going to want to build more, and I could shut them down and do all sorts of stuff. Nope, nope, nope. I think this is going to tide us over, at least for now. And we're going to need to clear out that base real soon. You can see it there. That pollution cloud's going to trigger them shortly. Let's actually check our pollution. Oh. Yeah, one of them's in range. We need to go make an example of them, or at least kill some of them off. Defender capsules, eh? How many of these can we make? 35 without dipping into anything else? Sure. Let's hop into our tank and see how defender capsules combined with our current tank does at taking out that biter nest. Alright, we'll quickly pop down here and take out this nest. Should be fairly handy. This is a much smaller one. Then we'll come back for the beginning. Oh, turn that off. Okay. Oh, it takes 3 shots now to kill them? Yeah, we definitely need some upgrades. I even got some damage upgrades in the meantime, so... yeah, the bugs are definitely tougher than they were. And you. That's 2. That's 3. Ah! Yeah, no spawners left. That means you guys are all dead. Right, well, messy as that was, we lost an awful lot of health, namely because we ran into one of their spawners. And we also did not use our defender capsules. Yeah, the bugs have definitely gotten a lot tougher. Like, a lot tougher. That should have been a walk in the park. Okay. Yeah, that's how we toss them. Perfect. Bunch of defender capsules. Good for us. So the defender capsules keep the bugs off us, and we kill the spawners. Oh. That is so many bugs. Sweet democracy. Ugh. That is way too many bugs. Okay then. That went about as well as I was expecting. I was kind of hoping that we do a bit more damage, but yeah, bugs. Very tough right now. And how did our power grid hold up to that? Fine. Absolutely grand. Not a bother. Oh, yeah, you guys. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, and it was the wall that got me. Damn it, now I have to go make a new tank. Did our power grid hold up okay to that? Okay, I think so. That's solar panels, then it dropped off when nighttime kicked in. Emitters seem to be doing okay. Alright, I think that worked. Yeah, I think we got all that stuff off the ground. Great. I gotta go make a new tank. That was horrendous. Ugh. The walk of shame back to your base after you lost your tank. Ugh. It's fine, we've got more ammo and stuff back, but still, it just feels wrong. I'll pick up a little bit of tank ammo. Yeah, that can be replaced, and we'll have to pop down here and grab some rocket fuel. Now, where are we making that? Ah, at the back. Rocket fuel is very easy to make. Once you get the research, it's basically just light oil. Light oil into solid fuel, and then solid fuel turns into rocket fuel, so long as you combine it with a little bit more light oil. And, done. Then we have a fully functional tank. I'm not going to place it down in here because driving it out of here would be a nightmare. Let's go back and finish off that bug nest. 2 stacks of rocket fuel, some cannon shells, some piercing rounds. Good to go. Try not to die a second time. Yeah, no, I can't blame the tank, can I? That was just my bad driving. Right. Let's use the last of the defender capsules. Let's tuck in. Oh, wait. Oh, that's too many bugs. Too many bugs. Too many bugs. Yeah, eat some grenades. Okay, right back here. Let's avoid the walls. Avoid the walls. And let the lasers do the talking. Perfect. We unfortunately have run out of drones, but that's okay. There's only a little bit of a base left. We should be able to kill it with just a tank. Ooh, those grenades, though, do come in clutch. They kind of thin out the numbers of the stuff chasing you. Yeah, that power drain looks interesting. I don't think the accumulators have ever really been dipped much. I think we got enough power to run a decent laser bank. Oh, get out of the acid. Much better. How much ammo do we have left here? Slowly but surely we will grind you down. It's not nature that'll grind you down. It's industry, I'm telling you. Once you have enough of these... Oh, that's too many. There we go. And another one bites the dust. Come on. One more. Damn it. Every time there's less bugs. Yep, the fight's almost out of them. There's only a fraction of the bugs that were there originally. And my aim is actually getting worse. Okay, you guys are almost done. Come on. Come on. One nest left. Right, well, that should be quick. Yep, quick and painless. That should buy us just a bit more time. I'm not going to seal in this area. Actually, could I seal in that area? No, there's no point sealing in this area or exploring any further. We're just leaving more places for them to expand into out here. We'd like to keep them less dense if at all possible. Oh, there was some comments where people were like, just seal this area off, build walls across and seal it off entirely. That way expansion parties can't come this way. I kind of half want the expansion parties to try and break in. It's just if they expand, if try and expand in here, we'll kill them and they won't get their expansion off. If they expand out here where we don't have turrets, then they'll just expand and have another base and they'll get denser and denser and it gives us less room to maneuver in the tank. We want to have room to maneuver so we can circle strafe them. We lose that, things get a lot hairier. This little abomination here is supposed to be red and green science combined. It's, yeah, it kind of works, I think. Give me a second. Alright, so this is the gears, and the gears feed into transport belts, and they also feed into these inserter productions. And you can see it there just going along this belt, and then it continues further along because the red science actually requires gears. So this one gear machine is feeding assembly belts, inserters, and science all at the same time, which means it's a little bit overworked right now. That's okay. It seems to be doing just good enough for what we needed to do. But we'll upgrade it later, or we can make changes to it later. Green circuits come in this side. Green circuits go down here and they get fed into the assembly or the inserter maker. Perfect. And then the copper goes down this side as well, and that gets fed into the science. Done. But the all of these little things here that are produced, they pop down this section. Go all the way down the back for miles and miles and miles until they get to the green science, because the green science requires the transport belt and the inserters. That's it. And because of the way we stack them out, we've done a little belt foo here. We've got red and green science on that belt. And then next up comes the black science. Easy peasy. A quick smash down of the black science is basically grenades, coal and iron plate. It's down here. We just feed this all in. I'll include the save so you can rip it down and play around with it if you want. It's a very dumb little setup, but at the end of it all, we now have all 4 sciences meeting up here. Red, green, black, and yellow, which should get us through to... Wait a minute, where's blue? I forgot blue. Damn it, how did I forget blue? Down, okay, I'll stick in blue real quick. And there we go. That's blue. We just want to rush through all of this so we can start getting, well, go to the next planet. But to do that, we got to clear out the space, make sure we have enough ores and stuff to keep this going, and then we can finally get on to the next planet. And how much landfill do we need? 487. We need a bunch of landfill to finish off this solar panel array. I figured, we just throw down some landfill, it'd be nice and quick, and oh my god, they've expanded it there as well. I'll kill that nest later. No. So what I've started doing is running all of this stone into these. How much do we have? 416. We need 487. So close. We've almost finished. And I need to move some of those stone things around. It's time to remove our old science setup. It's no longer required. I mean, we'll leave in the old generators, though I doubt they would be able to keep our base running for very long. But all of this stuff needs to go. Oh, actually, it reminds me, I should probably clear off the belts before we do that. Back in this area, we just need to extend this on a bit. Let's say by about that much. Would that work? Okay, it's not perfect, but we can say put that there. Damn it! There we go. I think that's about right. And now we can extend this on. And that should just be a case of going like that. Beautiful. And then once we run out of labs, well, we'll just start doing some science. After all of that, we have a bunch of leftover science flasks. We're just going to dump them into all these buildings and hopefully get rid of them that way. And we're also going to clean out our old science. Oh, and we should probably start the science, shouldn't we? First up, it's going to be body armor. Power armor Mark II. No, actually, first it's going to be military level 4. Then it will be power armor Mark II. Then it will be portable fission reactor. Then finally we'll get uranium ammo. At that point, we should have all the bits and bobs we need to go on a killing spree against the bugs. Though I should point out, it's 1,000 research for the ammo, 200 for the fission reactor, 400 for the power armor, and 150 for the military. The uranium ammo costs more than all the other 3 combined. This might take a little time and a lot of pollution. The first 3 researches are finished. We've knocked out military, power armor, and the reactors. Power armor is actually really cheap to make. Well, not cheap, but the stuff to make it is not that hard. Blue processors, electric motors, that stuff was easy enough. Efficiency modules, we actually had quite a few of those on hand for some reason. However, low density structure and the speed modules, they were slightly trickier. One, we've got low density stuff being made here. This low density structure is being made for our orangey science, this yellow science down here. So that one, we stuck a crate on it and boom, we've got as much as we need. Well, a reasonable amount. And then when it came to the speed modules, all we did is we went over to our efficiency modules and switched them over to make speed modules until we had 100 of them. That's all it takes, 100. And these things, the ingredients to make a speed module, an efficiency module, or a productivity module, all those ones, it's all the same. So you just switch over the recipes, leave the same inputs. All done. And now we can craft ourselves 1 piece of power armor Mark II. And yeah, that'll take a second. And done. In that case, what we can do here is we can check out this is the size of the equipment grid in our current armor. Then we'll chuck this stuff in. And this is the new grid, which is freaking huge. Now, before we put that on, though, we might want to get our hands on... Where is it? We might want to get our hands on a reactor. Reactor's actually not that terrible, though it will need one more thing. Here it is. Like the processing units, low density structure, easy peasy. It's the uranium fuel cells. Now, uranium fuel cells, if I recall... I'm not recalling correctly, but either you need one of these centrifuges to make it, or you just use a regular constructor. Let's try. Nope, not that one. Here we are. Uranium fuel cell. 10 iron plate, 1 uranium 235, and 1 uranium 238. So 1 shiny and 1 dull uranium. Looking down here, we have plenty of the shiny stuff on hand. Well, 62. You could actually make an awful lot of nuclear reactors, but right now, let's just say our solar is doing just solid work. Has no problems taking care of our power draw right now. All we're going to do is, well, chuck this into one of the assembly machines, and it should spit out 10 uranium fuel cells. Then all we need is the other bits and bobs we've got lying around the place, and we can make ourselves one reactor. We'll probably make two, though, considering the grid size we have available. Excuse me while I go and pick up 200 processing units and 50 low-density structure. Say hello to one portable fission reactor. We've only got one so far, but let's just chuck that on top of us. Open up their armor. And there we go. Portable fission reactor installed. Then we just have to transfer across the old equipment. And that... Boom. I don't think we need the batteries. I think this will be able to provide more than enough power, though... You know what? We'll leave them in there for now. We've definitely got the space. We're going to make two different sets of armor. Well, probably going to have like two different sets of equipment we can chuck into the armor. One will be lots of fission reactors and laser defense, so that when we sit in our tank, we shoot lasers out of it automatically. And the other one, actually, we're going to have to juice up the tank as well. Ooh, yeah, we're going to need a lot of reactors now to think about it. Damn it. Okay, give me a few minutes to get together exoskeleton legs, multiple portal fusion reactors, a bunch of laser defenses, these things over here. Like, this is 5 laser turrets, low-density structure processing. All these things we're making somewhere, I think. Probably. These things, yeah, also making all the parts for that somewhere. And I think, yeah, we just combine a bunch of those together and we should be able to have ourselves a few little killing machines. Wait, where's the lasers? Oh, sorry, personal lasers. Yes, all covered. Just give me like about an hour of puttering about and I'm sure we can have ourselves a nice kill going on. Actually, according to this, in 24 minutes, uranium ammo will finish. Okay, then we can juice up the tank with better ammo. Ooh, I can smell the roast bugs already. Much more pocket crafting later, and see how fast we're moving? That's your normal movement speed. And let me try on some new armor. Now this is our normal moving speed. We can basically fly about the place. What we've done here is we've stuck on 4 exoskeletons and 3 portable fission reactors. This is sort of our builder, wander around, do stuff armor. It basically allows us to move really quickly, and it allows us to run a bunch of personal roboports, and it's got some personal battery backup. This thing just works. Oh, and it's got a belt immunity equipment, so we can stand on transport belts, and it doesn't move us about the place. It makes it easier to get things done inside the base. However, when we leave the base, we want to be able to kill stuff, and this is our tank armor. As in, we sit inside our tank, and we've got 2 portable fission reactors and a whole bunch of laser defenses strapped to us. And then, from inside the tank, these lasers can shoot out, meaning as we drive around, this thing will blast stuff. We've also upgraded the tank. But before we get around to the tank, down here we've taken the ammo production for the tank ammo. And now what we're doing is we're churning out uranium cannon shells. It just requires some uranium-238, the dull uranium. We combine one dull uranium, 1 cannon shell, and it spits out a uranium cannon shell, which basically doubles the damage. Now this thing does 1,000 physical, 100 explosive, and the upgraded one does 2,000 physical, 200 explosive, so it effectively doubles it. Oh, and while that is going on, inside here, this is physical projectile damage 5. If you check physical projectile damage 4, you'll see it upgrades bullet damage, gun turret damage, and shotgun shell damage. However, when we go into number 5, it also upgrades cannon shell damage. So cannon shell will go from a 0% bonus to plus 90%. That will drastically increase the damage of those things. When it comes to weapon shooting speed, 3 and 4 do nothing for tank ammo. But number 5 actually increases the shooting speed of tank ammo from 0 to 80%, so we can fire 80% faster. So we're going to start knocking out those as well. Namely because we got to clear a bunch of space, and we want to do it quickly and efficiently. So let's sprint over to the tank at high speeds. Oh, this feels so much better to run this fast. Ooh. And ammunition-wise, I've also started taking some of the ammo that Black Science uses and we're turning that into, well, uranium rounds. I don't think we need that much of it, to be honest. We shouldn't be doing that much shooting. We should be mostly depending on the cannon and the lasers. But it's worth upgrading. Actually, while we're at it, give me laser weapon damage Mark 4 and laser shooting speed Mark 4 as well. Might as well queue those up. We want to get as much damage going on as we can. We'll worry about all the other upgrades later. And this is the new and improved tank. It carries 1 portable fission reactor, 3 exoskeletons, 2 personal batteries, and a personal laser defense. This thing should allow us to zip around and blow stuff up. Might have to take out the personal laser defense. I'm not actually no. 200 kilowatts, 200 kilowatts, 200 kilowatts, and 120. That comes to a grand total of 720 kilowatts, and the portable fission reactor is 550 kilowatts, so I think we're good. And the batteries are just there as if I see the batteries start to go down, I'll know something's happened. Oh, look at the speed of that. Yeah, somehow the legs make the tank go faster. Who knew? All right, let's go find ourselves some more iron. Okay, first up is this tiny base over here. Let's see how you like uranium cannon shells. A miss. Oh. Uranium cannon shells don't actually kill it instantly. And I'm wearing the wrong armor. Oops. We can fix that real quick. Here, you. Go that way. Perfect. I had the wrong armor on and it was causing problems. Okay, this time. This time we'll have lasers on our side. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that works. And done. Then we just turn on the auto repair. Yeah, those uranium cannon shells make a hell of a difference. And the lasers popping out, they really make it a lot easier. So all we do is we just have to circle strafe these guys. And we're going so fast that they can't actually get us. That's madness. Okay, I much prefer this. Like, we can get in closer because we're able to go faster. They're having a hard time even getting close to us. And we just keep peppering them with cannon shells. And anything that gets too close gets lasered to oblivion. Ah, technology. The cause of and the solution to all of life's problems. Easy peasy. Did take a little bit of damage on the tank. We could put shields and stuff on it, but I don't think there's a need to. It's just, we have enough oomph to take everyone out. And how much ammo we got left in this tank? Oh yeah, we can definitely take out a few more bases. No. Oh, that's tight. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Never mind, lasers to the rescue. You see, this way you can make the odd mess up and you get away with it. Whereas before, if you clip something like that, it was usually death. Dear God. I think we definitely need the uranium cannon upgraded, though. If we could get that upgraded just a few more notches, we could one-shot the nests and possibly pass through and do kill multiple ones at a time. And then increase the firing speed by 80%. And I think we could shoot through the nests an awful lot faster. Quick stop for a repair break. We don't even have to get out of the tank. I love it. Before we go and clear out some more space, I'm just going to create a quick defensive nub right here. That should stop. Ooh, I think that's a nest over there. We're going to have to go kill that. But I'm going to use this as the default template. It's got a bunch of laser turrets in it. We chuck down one of these power substations, and that's it. And we just have to run power out to them. This should allow us to seal down much larger areas again. And so long as all we're dealing with is not attacks, but actual... expansions? The expansions are pretty easy to stop. So a small lump of laser towers like that, though, actually, I need to change it slightly. One minor change, actually. There, much better. That's a roboport, 3 construction robots, and 10 repair kits. That way, if it gets a little bit damaged, it can get repaired. Oh. I should maybe also put some spare wall chunks in there. Nah, it'll be fine. All right, let's go clear out some more space. This is going to take a while. We need to find some iron ore. And I want to do it back here because I think that's where most of the pollution is going to end up. It's probably better to go this direction. Is that iron I spy? Yes, it is. 890k. Let's go clear that out. We'll have to clear a surrounding area to make sure that there's no pollution cloud, but I think that should be very doable. And I think we're going to need more ammo soon. Oh, that's a big nest. I think that's 2 nests stuck together, but yeah, we can clear it in no time at all. Circle strafe, circle strafe. Some things never change. Right beside the iron, we got a patch of copper. That's actually kind of nice. As long as we can seal both of those in, I think we're golden. We just gotta, well, secure the surrounding area. Oh, and there's uranium. I mean, we don't need it, but I'll take it. Oh, and turn off the roboport. And soon we're gonna have improved projectile damage. I'm looking forward to that. Oh God, that's a big base. Yeah, we're starting to get to the outer edges. Once you get to a certain point, it's nothing. It's just a mat of bugs. There's nothing but bugs everywhere. We're not quite there yet, so... Oh my God, that's so many little spitters. Okay, the new projectile damage has kicked in. One shots the spawners at last. Excellent. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh. I think we don't have to worry about the spawners a bit. Like, this should greatly speed up the clearance. Because one-shotting the spawners as opposed to having to make 2 passes, And I wonder if it'll actually kill multiples if we get them in a line. Let's try you. Maybe not. Ooh. Oh, we got a little bit too deep there. That's okay. That's okay. Oh my god. One uranium shell through all of them and it kills so many bugs. I have been exploring and found this ore over here, but that's too far away. But what I'm thinking is we block off here, and then we can block off here. And then we somehow have to get a block that goes, well, all the way down the rest of the side. So I'm just looking for some natural barriers that we can install a few defensive structures on, that we can secure all this extra territory for, and then won't have to worry about the biters ever coming back in. And we don't have to worry about pollution causing waves of attacks. Yeah, this actually looks pretty good. Oh, there's a second batch of water. That's perfect. We will have to take out a bunch of bases, but that was going to be anticipated anyway. So, I'm thinking we seal off there, and then we just have to seal off here. Oh, wait, no. We've got to go down even further. But yeah, I'm thinking that's going to be like, we have to kill a whole bunch of bugs. That's a pretty good seal. This here is the original copper and iron patch we found that we thought we would secure, and that would give us the resources we needed. But then, of course, you get greedy. You start expanding, and expanding, and expanding. I'm not even sure how many bugs I've killed at this point. I can look it up at some point, but across here you will notice we have built a defensive line, the Maginot line, basically, of just laser turret nubs. They're just built along off big electric poles. Now, we're not using any fire-based stuff because it turns out running pipes out here would have been far more painful. So, electricity, some laser turrets, a whole bunch of upgrades, and we have basically secured these places off by finding, well, breakpoints where they can break through. This didn't work out as well as I thought. This area is not very, it's porous, as in there's places where the bugs can slip through. So we just ended up covering it turrets. It's not that expensive, and since we were just running power poles, it worked out. Then we found this oil, so we had to expand out here further. This 12 million iron, so I'm like, let's expand this a little bit further. And now we're just going to sort of wall across here to protect this iron patch so that we can tap into that. Which will give us 3 iron patches. Remember, we only needed 1. And 4 copper patches. A couple of patches of uranium. And I'm pretty sure that, yeah, there's a coal patch in there as well. Oh, and we've got oil. Yeah, so we got a little bit of everything. All it took us was 2,000 uranium cannon shells and 898 magazines of uranium magazines. Okay, so I spent a few hours at this, and by a few I mean like possibly half a day. Like, it doesn't matter, okay? It's done. Now, let's just clear out a little bit more of this. Just a little bit more. One more nest. Just one more. Like, that's what basically ends up happening. You're like, okay, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Oh, no, that's a wall. We're turning. And you'll notice that our lasers are now far more effective. The sheer quantity of upgrades we've pumped into them has meant that, yeah, they could even kill heavy biters pretty consistently. Oh. And I left the... I forgot to turn off the roboport, didn't I? Nah, that's fine. Let's watch what the ammo does. It basically shreds them. Our newest ammo is just... oh. Throw in some lasers, and yeah. We can kill stuff pretty quickly, pretty consistently, and where are you going? Get back here. Get back here and repair our beautiful tank. That is one pretty tank. Okay, it's an ugly tank, but it's our ugly tank, and it does a really good job. Alright, ooh, there's a water... like, see, there's a water pocket there, which means we can put in one there, then maybe seal it off there. That's the thing. The moment you start, like, finding new stuff, you're just coring out that little bit more, that little bit more, that little bit more. I gotta learn how to stop. I just can't... oh, how much ammo we got left? Yeah, we got plenty of ammo. That stuff automatically reloads, but... ah! Never mind. Back to work. Is that an expansion party? I think that's an expansion party. I have caught a few expansions, but I'm going to have to go through the entire territory we've secured, once we've fully secured it, to make sure that no nests have popped up behind us. The expansion is almost complete. Just huge, huge amounts of laser turrets clamped down everywhere. And over here, we're just walling in a few last places to make sure. Well... not quite the last. You see, the thing is, we still have old stuff we installed earlier in other parts of the game that we would probably like to replace. Just the ones that were powered on bullets. We might want to replace those with the laser ones, because at the moment we have all of this extra space that we can chuck in a few extra solar bills. So we can chuck in a bunch of solar bills through here as we expand out our resource collection. And you, why are you not on? God, how did that not work? Okay, you go there. Excellent. Now, currently, there is only one power loop, as in the power literally starts over here and then rolls all the way around. So if there was if any of this was to be severed, we would end up with huge problems. Actually, no, there's a second one right here. And we're going to install a third line over here, probably connected somewhere in the middle of this section. And we'll probably do a fourth one over this section, just to make sure that we have multiple connections so that it can't accidentally break down. Oh, and yes, in here, the same thing again. We'll stick down 5 repair packs, and we'll throw in 3 droids, and then we have to go back and get stone. Damn it! But yeah, this should mean we don't ever have to worry about coming back out here for hugely long periods of time. It should be fine. Now that we've secured the center, though, we still have a few things to do. One is go through and make sure there's no bases got behind our lines. Definitely a few did. While we were busy clearing out everything, some of them snuck around the back and got in. And I'm wearing the wrong armor. Ugh, so sloppy. Well, I was doing a big building spree. Alright, there we go. Lasers are back online, and then everything just evaporates. Perfect. So, yeah, I found another base over there. I found one on the way back there. So we're gonna slip back and forth a bunch, find any excess bases that slip through, and clear this place out. Then we can start putting in train stations, because we might as well use a little bit of trains to bring the rest of this home. The first resources we have to connect are iron. This is all the iron we got. It's kind of pathetic. That is just a pathetically small amount of iron pouring in. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. And I should probably remove all of this. This entire thing here is no longer necessary. In fact, I might just rip it out now while I'm passing through. It's just this line here is, well, there's a second line here, then all of these, like, there shouldn't be anything ever coming from that direction. So, yeah, let's rip it out real fast. This batch of iron ore looks like it could solve a lot of our problems. 4.6 million, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-ish lines. Well, it says 5, but it is about 4.5 here. So, what we want to do, though, is load this up onto a train. Thing is, trains seem really complicated at the start, but once you start getting into them, they're not that bad. All you have to do is have about 3 different things, and that's it. A place to load them up, a place to drop them off, and an intersection. Those 3 things, and a little bit of minor understanding, and you can get by. Otherwise, you're spending, like, it takes, like, about an hour. The basics on trains is about an hour long otherwise. I prefer the simplified approach. First things first, you gotta load balance all of your mining, just to make sure you're drawing from it all evenly. We're going to use an 8 to 8. Normally, you'd use whatever there is. So there's 5 lines, so we should be using a 5 to 5. But we're going to use an 8 to 8 just to make sure, well, with trains, you kind of always want to go with something standardized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, let's make that 9. And plop that down right there. This will take up to 8 inputs and spread them evenly across the 8 outputs. It doesn't matter where you plug them in, or if you plug in 3 inputs or 4 inputs, it will still even it out to 8 outputs equally. And you can just go straight forward. And then we'll just hook up all the rest. Before we get started building a train, I just sort of go over the basics of trains. You have 1 locomotive at the front and 4 wagons behind. What you can do is make double-headed trains. This way they can go forwards and backwards. Yeah, we're not bothered. We're going to use unidirectional trains because they generally just tend to be faster, and so long as you build your network reasonably consistently, it shouldn't be a problem. It just, being able to go forwards and backwards is really handy on smaller grids, and at the same time, if you mess up, trains can go backwards if they really want to. Problem is, it starts to get a little bit wonky for me. I just don't like it. Plus, locomotives are very heavy, and it slows down the train quite a bit. It messes with its acceleration. Now, we just want to put a turn in. By that, I mean, we're just going to say, grab that, and go, give me a 90-degree turn. There you go. Perfect. And this will be where the train turns around. So it's going to come in one side, out the other. I want to sort of make it parallel with this. So I'm just going to cut that and paste it so that, let's say, right about there. Yeah, right about there should be fine. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Right. There. Perfect. Now we're going to grab ourselves a train stop. See those yellow arrows? Those yellow arrows mean the train's going to pull in there and stop there and then try and go forward afterwards. It's just direction of travel sort of thing. Yeah, we'll give you a name later. Then we're just going to chuck in the train right now so we know exactly where the train starts and where the train ends. So, yep, you see it's the way it's kind of sticky? stick to that point so you know you're going to end up exactly where you need to. And then we're going to stick on our 4 little cargo wagons afterwards. The reason I go with 4 cargo wagons as opposed to 3 or 10 or whatever is just it's a good balance between speed and carry capacity, and the trains aren't too big, but they're not too small. It's sort of a decent standard. Larger bases, you might want to go all the way up as far as 10 or even 20. There's mad ones you can go up to if you really want to. First up, we want to get the loading section sorted. So for that, you want to make sure you have... Oh, damn it. 6 of these suckers set up right beside the wagon. And then what you can do is have them load like this. Now, what you could do is you just have 1 on each wagon, but that just results in... I prefer to get this done for, as in, a bigger train station. Like, this is kind of overkill for what we're doing. In fact, we're going to double down. But if you design it once, it just saves... Oh, that's too far away. 1 second. This one needs to be replaced again. There, this gives the maximum rate of loading up at the train so that it can quickly come in, load up, and then get out again. It's a speed thing. Which reminds me, I want to stick some fuel on here. There you go, you can have some rocket fuel, that'll get you started. We'll sort out fueling later on. Alright, so this allows it to load, but then we have to put transport belt into it. And this is where the 8 outputs of this sort of feed into the 8 inputs here. You see, we've got, well, 4 wagons, each one with 2 inputs effectively. So what we can do is, like that. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 inputs going this direction. 4 inputs coming down here. There. We have 6 stack inserters feeding... Or sorry, bulk inserters. Feeding into 6 chests, which are then feeding into the rest. Actually, we should probably limit those a little bit. There's no point having too much in storage. Can't remember if that's a good idea or not. You know what? It doesn't make a difference. Perfect. Now we just have to hook up this to this. This is more of an eyeball thing I've been doing so far. I should really be more careful about this. I might want to move this whole thing just 1 tile further left. That's what happens when you start doing this. You just want to make sure that it's perfect the first time around. That way you could just keep copying and pasting it next time you use it. And this is what it looks like when it's finished. 4 inputs go up top, 4 inputs go down bottom, and they feed into the 4 wagons with 2 lines going to each one. And because this is perfectly load balanced, it should evenly load it. That's what you kind of want. And this is one of the reasons that 4 wagons is a popular size. 1-headed or 2-headed trains, 4 wagons seems to be that nice little sweet point between performance, size, and just convenience as well. Otherwise, we need like a 6-to-6 balancer for if it was only 3 wagons. You know what? Doesn't matter. Next up, though, we want to cover, well, breaking the train line into chunks. You see, trains will only enter a rail if there's no other train on it. If you had no signals on the rail, like this is a signal right here, if you had no signals anywhere on the rails, only 1 train could run on it. The moment you start adding signals, what happens is only 1 train can occupy each chunk. That way you can get 2 trains on the rail. And then what you end up doing is breaking your rails into chunks, and each chunk is going to be the size of a train, generally. Like, you don't have to have it the size of a train, but it generally works out just more convenient that way. So, let's see here. Oh, damn it. So, ignoring this train stop here, you'll see that this light is green. What that means is there's no train in this chunk. And then there's another light over here. This has turned this area into 1 chunk. And if we were to say put a train in there, or anything in there, it turns that red. And this is still green. That means it can keep going on because there's nothing in the chunk in front of it. And that's basically it. And then all you do is you make sure that each chunk is about, well, 5 wagons long, or like 1 of your train lengths long. Done. So in that instance, it would be, we'll put 1 right about... Second. Put you there. But you know what? And then we'll come across here to this section. And done. Then what you'll notice is we pop out of here. That light is red. That light is red. This one's green. And then the moment we pass by that one turns green over there. So now a train can move in there. This one's green. So like we've basically made it so that if this train gets a green signal, as in it sees that this is green in front of it, it's able to completely clear the train stop. We want that because otherwise what can happen is, just say you've put this signal over here, it will see that this is clear, it'll come halfway out, can't get any further, and then it's blocked the train station. That's a bad idea. You kind of want to make sure that there's always a full train length anywhere you go, so that trains can completely clear wherever they're leaving. Otherwise, it can jam up the system, especially intersections. Now, right about there. See? This is green, that's red. Wait, that means we're still in that section. And a little bit more. Come on. Oh, and now we've turned this red. Is that one done? So we have just about a full length of trains. And I think that's good enough. Alright. That means we have somewhere to load them, an easy way out, and this is effectively how we're going to signal the entire rail system. Just have one rail signal every full train length. On longer stretches, you can put it every 2 train lengths or 4, depending. Now, over here, what we want to do is we want to do a sort of a loading dock. A stacker, I think they call it. Okay, how it works is as follows. Like this. What we're going to do is start putting in trains here. We're going to leave space for 4 trains stacked up really close together. And the way we do that is... Ooh, give me that. You need to come on, say, 2 chunks, I believe. Or is it 2 chunks or 1? Yeah, now this is 1 chunk. 1 chunk into it is too small. Oh, sorry, I've explained that badly. So over here, this train comes out, and this is where it sort of turns 90 degrees. So you can keep going on straight at 90 degrees. Once you find that line, come up, click on it. Click on that line, so you can come up 90 degrees, and then you want to come up 2 chunks. So that's 1 chunk, and that's 2. And then what that allows you to do is come up nice and close to this. If you only come up 1 chunk, you'll be too close to this other rail. Things won't work out. We're going to grab some rail signals here, and just where it turns to 90 degrees, you'll tell because there's a big gap here. We're going to put down train signal, and then we're going to repeat this 2 more times by coming down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Now, what we have to do is figure out how long the storage is for the train. And the thing is, it's kind of annoying because you don't know exactly where the train's going to stop. Like, figuring out exactly which block it's going to be too much of a pain in the butt. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to place this here. Sorry, I'm going to get rid of that line. And now you notice all of these are red. So now if a train tries to get in here, it will have to stop at this rail signal. It will have no choice because there's something occupying the chunk in front of it. Then we're going to tell that train to go to this train stop. You are going to be called Iron Pickup 1. There you go. You're Iron Pickup 1. Then what we're going to tell this train to do, we've stuck some fuel in it, a little bit of coal. We're going to tell you, go to Iron Pickup 1. We're not going to add any conditions just yet. And we're going to hit play. And boom. It tried to drive there and then stopped because it's ran into the problem. And then, oh, sorry, well, we also need to clear your thingies. Boom. Now we can remove this, plonk that there, and now we know exactly how much space this train needs to stack up to. And we'll give ourselves a little bit of leeway. That means we can now store 4 trains here. Well, sort of. All we got to do now is do the reverse thing we did on the other side. Basically have all of these lines meet up and merge into one. Do that. We'll do this. And then we basically repeat that like so. Boom. All of them meet back up right there. So this is now a train stacker. It can store 4 trains that will wait until whoever's in here leaves. Now, do you need to do all of this early on for 1 train? No. But if you do it once, you never have to do it again. Then we're going to have this line sort of come back sort of parallel to this one. Ugh. There's cliffs everywhere. This is going to make it annoying. Let me try and figure out how I'm going to merge these 2 up. Okay, line curves down, curves out this direction, and now I'm going to introduce you to one of the biggest, most powerful blueprints in the game, the T-junction. This is a designed T-junction. 1 second, we're just going to let it play out. You can pick it up off the blueprint website. I'll also upload the save if you want to pick it out yourself. You don't need to know how this works. All you need to know is that it does. If you want to figure it out, you can. There's video tutorials on how to do it. Again, they're about 40 minutes to an hour. If you want to read Intro to Trains, I think that's about 3 hours. So all this does is trains will wait on either side of this junction and won't enter it until trains have cleared. And this allows you to merge 3 different dual line railways together. And that's it. That's all it does. Very simple, very easy. Now This whole merger is a pain in the butt, but let's see if we get it right there. Sometimes what you're going to do is you're going to have to go at a bit of an angle, try and get closer, and you go, oh, no, I've gone too far. I can't turn at a right angle here. Then you're just going to delete back. Or sometimes you're not going to go far enough. No. Better off to just come down one block at a time. Oop, and see. Ah, yes, there we go. Got a perfect 90-degree angle there. And then we just delete the excess rails. Smooth as. All right. Now, before we test this, I'd also like to point out one last thing, and that is, come over here. We're going to start reversing this guy. See those? They turned red. That tells whoever's coming through this junction, do not try and take this corner. If you try and take this corner, there's a train that's blocking the next chunk. What we can do here is when we reverse up, there. So what can happen is someone can park in here. The train's exactly this long, and it won't mess with things. It's just, this is why the 1-4 train is just so popular. It fits into things so conveniently based on how curvy the rails are. Because of the way you can curve rails at a 90-degree angle, the space it takes, everything just always seems to work out quite nicely for 1-4 trains. And this is sort of the start of our train grid. Now, what I'm going to do here is have a quick check with this one. Remember, we only want to ever use this or build this design once and then plug it into everything else. So you can go about there. And then I want to make sure, yeah, right about there is perfect. Excellent. That should be about right. I'm sure there's some mistakes I've made, but that's effectively how you design a train station. Now let's start loading this thing up. We're going to get the power to run over there. Or starts up, then it might be easier to go with substations. If we put a substation in here, yeah, it kind of helps us gain access to most of these areas. Ah, excellent. Had to do a little bit of moving around to get in all of the substations that give the largest power coverage, but I think that is a fully functional iron loading system. Now, we have to make these rails go all the way back to somewhere behind our base where we're going to do train unloading. So give me a second while I go figure out how to do train unloading again. Actually, wait. Before we go, we want to go like that. Nope, that's wrong. I want to go like this and then grab this entire train station. And I think, yeah, there. Perfection. And that will be our train blueprint from now on for loading. Looking at the back of our base, this is a horrifying nightmare. Yeah, there's no real space, and all of these cliffs are going to make it a pain in the butt. I think we might have to landfill in some water, which means we need to make a tiny detour. This here is a dedicated landfill production facility. You always get around to these at one point, mainly because landfill is so chronically expensive. It costs 50 stone to make one landfill, and that one landfill will fill 1 block of water. So for example, this here is 4 landfill, which is 4 blocks of water. That just cost us, well, 200 stone. So what you normally end up doing is going out, finding some place, and dedicating an awful amount of resources into just pumping out nothing but landfill. And in fact, let's just put you there, and done. I want you to fill that up as best you can. And I think 4 of those are going to eat an entire line. Oh, and I should probably, yeah, give them a little bit of efficiency modules. And done. Then let's put down some more. Now that looks like some proper landfill production. I don't think... I think a 3rd stack of landfill production might be too much. We'll give it a go and see what happens, I suppose. I think I might have gone a little far there. This stuff is on the edge of our territory, and we don't want to start annoying biters. I think I might have to remove some of these. Just a tiny scooch. Yeah, I think I'll get rid of the last row and leave the rest up and running. I also missed out on a few mines there that I did an efficiency module. That should hopefully cut down on the pollution a bit. And I might want to actually clear out a little bit more space here. Damn it! See, that's the thing. The moment you start, you always end up clearing out more space. Alright. What we're supposed to be doing right now is installing an unloading train station, but I'm already like a bajillion years over time. Also, I need to go back to this iron pickup and make one minor change. Sneaky breaky. I found 2 extra little bases, and now there's this one. I'm pretty sure... Oh, these guys snuck in here somehow, and I missed them. I am pretty sure these have been here from the beginning, since we started trying to seal the place in. And I just missed them because I didn't go through this particular area. Yeah. Well, never mind. They die pretty quick. Yeah, this is a small nest, and you're all gone. Where's the last guy? Eat lasers. Perfect. Let me have a quick sweep around. There's gotta be maybe there's another nest around here somewhere. Yeah. God damn it. And more. How are you getting in here? Pretty sure there was one nest in here, and that one nest has been multiplying slowly but surely. Yeah. There we go. Oh my god, they're like rabbits. They're freaking everywhere. Well, anyway, distractions aside, what we needed to do on our train station was put in a roboport. That won't fit there. Okay, fine. Go like there. Oh, thank you for just not being inside the power. Is there somewhere better we could put them where they'd still be inside the power? You know what? That's fine. This way, when we're not here, we still have visibility of the place. The radars built into roboports is just so handy, and it doesn't expand our viewing radius, so we don't have to worry about it revealing new chunks and getting more biters coming into this. So, yeah, perfect. So I was going to go and build that iron drop-off, but unfortunately we've run into the problem of, well, I got to go out here and clear a bunch of nests again. So I'm going to cut this out here, clear a few more nests, expand our safety net, just so that we can keep making our landfill, so that we can put in the backyard, so that we can unload it. I am going way too overboard in this. I should have just ran a couple of iron lines. I mean, considering how close it is, we could have just ran 2 or 3 belts of iron and solved this problem. But no, I'm going to do it right, even if it's stupidly excessive. Okay, I'm going to cut this out here. Next up, iron drop-off, then probably throw down a quick copper drop-off, and then at that point we should be able to just knock out the last of the sciences. We've only got 1 science left to add on, and we've actually caught up on a whole bunch of the sciences. I'll probably knock out... I think we'll probably just knock out everything you possibly can on this planet and then move on. It should be fairly quick. That should all get done in the next episode and we'll move on to space. In theory. Unless I get distracted again. High probability of that. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck.